room. One big round. Just before I get started, full disclaimer. Full disclaimer, I had this speech written out 4 months ago. I scratched that, wrote a new one. So if it's rocky, it's because it's coming from the heart. So, I think if you describe the relationship that I have with me and my brother, it's a pretty good one. But for most of you who don't know, and of course if you guys wouldn't know, when Henry and I were young, we didn't get along all that much. I think it was a combination of me being a little sensitive and my brother just being a giant dick. I can think of a ton of examples that might not seem like a big deal to you guys, but for me, Henry, I thought he was rude. He never shared. He didn't share anything. And I remember as a kid specifically, I loved to draw pictures, and I think he made fun of almost every single picture that I drew. And I mean, that's not that big of a deal, but when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, and that's all you're getting over and over and over again, I mean, it adds up. And it builds a lot of spite. So, and one story that I have just absolutely burned into my memory was, my mom was dropping him off at school. Okay, he was in middle school, I was in the car, she was dropping him off. And as she dropped him off, all of his friends were in the parking lot. And when he got off, they all came to the car, they all started pointing, and they all started laughing. And I don't know why they laughed, but I knew it wasn't kind. And when I saw Henry, he was turning around and he was laughing too. So my brother, he did nothing, and I remember, because at that time we shared a room, and that he asked, "Hey Jay, did that hurt your feelings?" And I said yes. And to his response, he just said, "Oh." So my brother, he said nothing, and I was thinking at the time, you know what, like, just go screw yourself, man. And for me at least, on my side of the sibling relationship, that was the narrative that I had when I was a kid. Go screw yourself, I hate this guy, I'm gonna find a way to get him back. And the way that I wanted to do this, it was by being as good as I possibly could be at just everything I did. I was an insightful 10-year-old. I wanted to be Henry, I wanted to be better than Henry at everything I did so he could just feel like dirt. And you know what? It worked. When it came to school, I was like, okay, you gotta study a little bit harder. When it came to like tennis or something, I said, you gotta practice a little bit harder. Or when it came to being tall, I was like, okay, buddy, you gotta grow. Just kidding, that part probably wasn't true. But like the point is that I wanted to leave no doubt who the more impressive brother was. So if that moment ever presented itself again, I wanted to tell him, don't you dare laugh at me, because I am better than you at everything. And I remember the specific turning point. It was when I was home from college and my mom was walking Henry out the house because he was going to go see some friends. And she comes back in, she's smiling, and she goes, you know, your brother loves it so much when you do well. Your brother loves it when you do well. Why you gotta go ruin my narrative? I can't say this enough. It's amazing how the people around you just shape you as a person. And I would have loved to learn these things differently, but putting up with Henry the kid, it made me driven, it made me diligent, it made me disciplined. Being oppressed on one side of my life made me super aggressive on the other. And these are all good things, but they weren't good memories. But when I talk to Henry now, Henry the adult, I have a lot of good memories. I mean, I see his good sides, and I can see how that's shaped me also. I mean, if you want a story, I don't even know where to start. I mean, we could talk about how he's unselfish. We could talk about how he's so hardworking, how he tries to make the most of every opportunity he gets. We can talk about how he treats his family with such a servant's heart, not expecting anything in return. I mean, that's the good stuff, you guys. Like, that's the stuff that really gets me. And, I mean, Henry the adult. Henry the adult, I mean, he's not the guy that I despised when I was a kid. Henry's my older brother. Henry's my friend. He's my confidant. He's the role model that I didn't think I had when I was a kid. And I mean, the people around me, they shape you all the time. And when I think about my life with Henry, I mean, thank God he did, right? So Angela, there's going to be a ton of personal growing that happens in your marriage. It's a coincidence that you're growing with the same person that I grew up with. And I'm sure you're going to shape by the good and bad sides of Henry. And by marrying him, I think it's obvious that you think the good sides are well worth it. Angela, I swear to God, there is nothing in your life that you are more right about. You nailed this one, okay? I promise, you nailed this one. So I don't want to end this speech on like a super serious note, so I just want to tell one story from when we were little kids that was a good memory. So kids pick their nose. I mean, adults do too, but that's totally separate. But what Henry would do is he would pick his nose, he would wipe it on the walls. When my mom came screaming, yelling at him, he would try and blame it on me. Mom never believed him. So one time, he picked his nose, wiped it on the wall. It was just this big, giant wet booger. She saw it. Mom came screaming over. She's like, "What are you doing? This is disgusting. You can't keep doing this." And Henry's genius idea was, "Mom, it wasn't me. It was Dad." So, if we could raise our glasses for the first toast. To my new sister Angela, if you see boogers on your wall, don't listen to Henry. I swear to God, it wasn't me. And to Henry, my older brother, I just want you to know that I love it when you do well too. To Henry and Angela, cheers. Cheers.